Hi, this is Trooper Joe from ArchAngel A to Chivalry, and you can catch my show on 7averadio.com every Wednesday from 3 to 4. Thank you. Hey folks, this is Trooper Joe here at ArchAngel A to Chivalry. So it must be Wednesday, it must be somewhere around 3 o'clock. Who knows what time it is? Who cares? We'll be talking about time in a little while anyway. So do we really care about what time it is? We'll find out. All you have to do right now is just tune in to 7averadio.com. That's right. And you can listen to Trooper Joe Return to Chivalry. Or you can go to facebook.com/ArchAngel A Return to Chivalry. Now let's say these two important places again. 7averadio.com, facebook.com/ArchAngel A Return to Chivalry. Today kind of have two topics, because the first topic that I want to really address is something that's been bothering a few people lately. It's on religion and on the churches and stuff. And I've just given my own little heathen opinion about this here, you know. Churches and religion once was a very, very personal thing. And then all of a sudden it got to be a very public thing. And when it was personal, we used to see God in clouds, in trees, the sun. We felt His presence on our body, nice and warm and everything. You felt the soft rain. All these things we used to attribute to God in a very personal type of way. We just say, yeah, that's right. I feel, oh, thank you, Lord. That feels good, you know. Oh, warming up the old muscles and everything. But all of a sudden it started to get a little bit public. You know, I think I don't have a better word for to say just what God started to become today with all the churches. Then there's a bunch of churches out there too. We got lots and lots of churches out there. You know, so God was about, He was about someone just like us. This is what they wanted to make Him into, you know. No longer was he the omnipotent creator of everything. We tried to make Him into somebody just like us, you know. Give Him a face, give Him hair, give Him muscles, give Him a beard, you know, give Him all kinds of things like that. He could have it. I mean, you can have God as long as He's in your life, and as long as you really feel His presence and stuff. You can have Him any way you want to. But what we did was we tried to capture Him. We tried to put Him in the churches, put Him in the temples, put Him in the synagogues, you know. We literally wanted to just put Him in jail and not let Him out. You know, you had to come and see Him. You know, if you wanted to feel God's presence, you had to come to this place to feel God's presence. Which, don't get me wrong, that's perfectly all right, and it's powerful. It's very, very powerful to go to these places to feel God's presence and everything, because that will make it personal for you. That's you and your moment with God. Just talking to Him, reflecting on your life with Him, having Him talk back to you, all those type of things like that. You're just there in the moment with God. But it is really not a way to try to bring people to God. You know, that's a place where you are with God. You can't, oh, come on everybody into my church and everything, because this is where God hangs out, because I got Him chained to that wall over there. There He is. You know, He's over there sitting down. You know, that's pretty much what it's like to be. And, you know, they're saying that if you come to the church becomes the focal point of God, not God becoming the focal point of you. Even though, like I said, it's a very personal feeling that you can get once you're there and you're feeling God's presence. But if you can feel God's presence outside. You can feel God's presence anywhere. You can feel God's presence in the bathroom if you're shaving or if you're brushing your hair. It makes no difference where you are. God's always with you, and He's always looking out for you, you know. So He's always there doing these good things. And to do some kind of missionary work and everything, you can't really do the missionary work, I don't believe, from inside the church, because then it takes away from your personal moment that you're reflecting with God. You know, God, and when I say God, I'm saying God, Jesus, Holy Ghost, you know, because I don't want to get anybody upset, because we got a whole lot of different religions out there. You know, some people don't believe Jesus is up there on that higher stem and stuff, but everybody know God. You know, everybody know God, or everybody used to know God in a personal way that they didn't have to go any place to find Him. But I'll repeat one more time. It is powerful to go someplace to find Him if that's going to bring you a nice feeling of interaction with God, just you and God, just sitting there talking and stuff, or sitting there meditating, or saying prayers, or reflecting, or confessing in some cases about your evil little selves that you are. I'm talking about myself, you know, but I mean, these is powerful. And you know, this is what I've been hearing from a lot of people now. When they start to talk about religion, they're starting to talk about religion is we have to go out there and on one day a year. It's like, what? We can go out there one day a year. We can, well, you know, we'll go out there on a certain day and at a certain time in a certain place, unless it's raining. You know, hopefully, God, will the sun be out? Will it be warm? Because, you know, it's like God said, well, you got me inside this church. I ain't going out there. I ain't getting wet. You bring an umbrella. But, you know, you can go out there and do that if you want to, but it's really not effective. Because if the people don't come out on that day because it's raining or cold, you're not going to reach them. When you're going out there to do some kind of fellowship and some kind of interaction with God, just go out there and do some fellowship and interacting with God. You might see somebody who's down and out, feeling bad about themselves while you're just going to the store. It's a great opportunity and stuff just to say hi. God loves you. You know, you can laugh and smile. Make sure you smile, folks. Make sure you smile. Don't talk down to them. Don't talk like you got a special understanding and a special knowledge and you got a secret password to get that makes you more in touch with God than they are. You know, that's not true. Everybody has, God loves everybody the same. He don't care if you're upside down. He don't care if you're black, white. He don't care if you're yellow or red. He really doesn't care at all. He loves everybody the same because He made everybody the same. He don't care if you're Catholic, Christian, Muslim, Mormon, Hebrew. He doesn't care. He made everybody the same. This is what He did. It's all for the glory of Him that He made everybody like that. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, God belongs to everybody. And God belongs to you. And as He does belong to me. Me, I'm a heathen. Yeah, just a heathen. Yeah, I don't even know what that means, but that's what I am. Ask my sister-in-law, she'll tell you. Yeah, you heathen. You don't have to, but if you're really looking to fill up your seats in the church and everything, then have a party, you know, and then the people will come, eat your food, you can talk to them, and they'll go home. But if you're really trying to bring people who may be on the fence about the Lord or maybe or anything like that, you know, go on out there and meet the people and share. You know, you got to share. Some people don't want to be part of your church, but they want to be part of some church. And all churches and all religions are good, because as long as they're following the two rules that seem to be in all religions, love God and love thy neighbor, they can't go wrong. You know, but God's real only two commandments is, hey, love me and love your neighbor, and and that's it. No, you can't be God. Sorry, folks. You can't even be God. You can't have an avatar that's God. You can't even have your Facebook God. You can do all that stuff if you want to, but I don't think you can change anything into anything. And walking on water, can't do it. I tried it. It didn't work. You will get wet. Yeah, but I did hand out sight. But that's another story. That's that. I gave somebody a pair of my little cheeses that I have right here. So I handed out a little sight. So everybody, if you really want to feel like you're God too, go and buy a pair of these cheetahs, and if you see somebody squinting trying to read something, give it to them. They'll be appreciating that, and you can think that you're working a miracle if you want to. But anyway, it'll be a lot of fun. And don't just lock God in a building. Let him out. Let him out. I mean, it's fall right now too. You must see the beautiful colors that he's painting for you. I mean, how powerful is that? Yeah, he ain't painting them inside the church or any other place. You know, he's not painting the walls. He's not Michelangelo. He made Michelangelo. He gave him the skills and the talents to do all that great work. You know, but, you know, it wasn't so he could be locked up in there. Go outside when you want to do your fellowships and your missionary work and talk to the people. Yeah, and that's about my last word on that. And you pastors out there, you'll have a much fuller congregation of much, much happier people. And as Peter the Hermit said on his trek to the Crusades, God wills it. So remember that. You don't will it. God wills it. But now I'm going to change the subject. And before I change the subject, I want to give a couple of minutes about last week's show. Last week we had a great show. We did a great interview with a wonderful lady. Her name is Yenny Polanco. And I hope all you people that remember seeing the show when we did it last week, you know, you can see it again on Facebook. ArchAngel A Return to Chivalry, you know. At Facebook.com, ArchAngel A Return to Chivalry.
Troop, if I could interrupt 1 second and just say something.
Yeah.
I just want to say, oh, the microphone will pick me up. I just want to say that episode of ArchAngel A Return to Chivalry was the most viewed episode out of any episode of ArchAngel A Return to Chivalry. So, congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we're on the move. We're going to have more interviews of more courageous people just like Yenny and stuff. But if you want to see it, like I say, go to Facebook.com/ArchAngel A Return to Chivalry. And for you people who really want to experience what she has and interact with it, you can go down to the Main Street YMCA and, you know, ask for when Yenny's classes are being taught. Her jump rope class, her boxing class, her fitness class with the youth and adults. She's down there. She's a very upbeat, very intense person, and she's very lovely, and she's just an all-around inspirational type of person. And if anybody wants to motivate themselves a little bit and they find it hard to do that, I tell you, YMCA, seek out Yenny Polanco. But right now, what I think I'm going to do is give you just a little bit of introduction to what I want to talk about. So everybody take a deep breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. That's called breathing, folks. I've done it before. I've done it where there wasn't a lot of air. It's real hot up there. You get dizzy. This is a poem that this Dr. Benjamin E. May wrote. It's just a little poem, and we're going to talk about this poem and the significance of this poem, and that's why I brought religion in first. The poem's called God's Minute. All right? And here we go. I've only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it, forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. That's powerful. That's powerful. That's just a little itty bitty poem. I'll read again later on about God's minute. And I'm going to talk a little bit about God's minute right here. We'll talk a little bit about the minutes. Because with that minute, it's really talking about what you do with your life, And there's two ways I think of it really approaching your life. There's one way of approaching it, and that's professional proficiency. Yeah? And you might say, what's professional proficiency? You remember, I'm making all these things up, so don't worry about it. I can explain them. So professional proficiency is like, you're a professional, you got your job, so you learn what you can about what it is that you do, and you become proficient. But you're only going to become proficient up to a certain level, because that's when you're finally going to say, well, I know enough, so I don't have to know anymore. Or I've been doing this so long, I am already professionally proficient in this, so I'm the professional, I'm the scholar, I'm the person who knows most about this subject. And that's professional proficiency. And it's what you do, but it's not who you are. It's not what you become. It's just what you do. And it is, like I said, it's limited. And then there's another one that you work off of passion. This is when you do things from passion. These are things that you do because they move you. These are things that you do because you love to do them. So they're much different than a professional proficiency, because you have such a moving force in it that's generated by yourself that you want to know everything about it. More likely, you're not going to stop midstream and say, well, I know enough. You're going to keep on going. You're going to want to know, well, how come that happens with this? I like this too. I like this. And it keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. And you keep growing and growing and growing and growing right along with that. So that's a passionate proficiency. So it's those things that which we do because of our passion. That's what makes it a passionate proficiency. These things will give us the greatest of results. And these are the things that I would feel that you really want to get your children introduced to. So it's hard, parents, because you have to be somewhat of a helicopter parent at certain times, because you have to identify what your kids like, not what they do. Not what they do. Don't get confused with, oh, my kid really likes playing video games because he's down there playing video games 100 miles an hour and stuff. But it's that stuff when you peek out the window and say, what's he doing? He's drawing a picture on the ground of something. It's a spaceship circling the planet. Look at all those. He did all that? Didn't even know he did. I thought he just liked playing video games. Those are the passionate proficiencies that he can develop in your child or within yourself. But like I said, as a parent, you have to be observant enough to see these, because they'll slip by real quick, And then you have to take and seek that advantage that comes from seeing that thing and say, whoa, what's that? Is that our solar system you grew on the ground right there? Yeah. Don't ask them. Here's the other thing, folks. When you do identify that, do not, and I repeat, do not ask your child a yes or no question. Even though I started with that yes or no question there, is that the solar system? Because they'll go like this, yep. That's what they'll do. Or they'll go, nope. You gotta ask them a question that's gonna make them say something, and because they like to talk. They're just like anybody else. They like to talk, and then you'll be able to help them out with their passion and proficiency. Yeah, and then if they don't like it after a while, they might change their mind because they're still growing. So they might go into something else. They say, oh, I didn't like that. But don't force something on them, because then if you force something on them, then it becomes a professional proficiency, and sooner or later they're going to lose interest in a professional proficiency. Even though it might stay with them all their life, they won't be happy because their passion wouldn't be satisfied. So this is just a little bit of what we're going to talk about for a little bit. All right? And right now, I'm going to play a song for you folks. I'm going to play you a song. I'm going to play this song right now in just a few minutes because it takes a while for it to get up. So remember, we're talking about professional proficiencies, we're talking about passionate proficiencies, and we're talking about God's minute. Right? I'm blinking. My back? I got a red dot on my thing there. What's that mean?
On what?
On that little...
That means you're recording.
I am recording. That's right here, live. Yes, sir. I'm going to read God's minute again for you. I'm going to read it nice and slow for you. I'm going to read it one more time. By Benjamin May. Yeah, Dr. Benjamin May. Here we go. God's minute. I only just a minute. Only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me. Can't refuse it. Didn't seek it. Didn't choose it. But it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it. Give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute. But eternity is in it. See? Now, why I like that and I think it's so powerful, because it reminds us that life is really short. You know, you can play all that philosophical type of stuff like that in the big scheme of things and stuff. You don't even have a minute. We can break it down to, you got the tiniest little seconds and the seconds of seconds and hundreds of thousands of seconds. But just in that poem, just thinking, you only got a minute's worth of stuff on this earth, and in that minute, you could do so many things. I mean, there's just a powerful lot of things, or you can waste them all. You know, you can waste that whole minute because it comes so fast. You can always say, well, I'll do it later. You know, I'll get to it tomorrow. Not today, I can't do it today. The next thing you know, like the song say, it slipped away, and before you know it, you're not physically fit enough to do things. You're not mentally capable of doing things. You're not connected to any spirituality. You've missed opportunities of that might have made you a billionaire. I don't know. You missed opportunities just to be a nice person because you just have that 1 minute and you can't bring it back once it's gone. And it's short. I mean, you miss moments of love. You know, your wife walks by you or your girlfriend or something like that, and you might just have been in a playful mood and you missed it. Yeah, you could have missed it. You could have enhanced it. You could have brought it forward. But you just, well, I know that they love me, so I'll play tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, it's raining and snowing outside and it's cold, so you don't feel like playing, and you done banged your knee and it hurts. So that's pretty rough right there. But that's that thing about it. It's only 60 seconds, folks, just like it say in the poem. It's only just a minute, and 60 seconds is in it. Yeah, and it was forced upon you. When you came into this world, you didn't ask to come into this world. You were brought into this world. And you can go into all kinds of philosophical reasons why you were brought into this world. For the love of your parents wanted to have a little baby boy or a little baby girl, so they decided to bring you into the world. You know, there's all kinds of different things. You were brought in here for the love of God. But the bottom line is, you know, it wasn't forced upon, it was forced upon you. And you can't refuse it. You know, here it is. You stuck with it. This is your minute, your place and time. This is it. You folks, A lot of you are listening to my voice. Your minute exists in Worcester. You know, some of you other people might be listening in Iceland. Yeah, some California. That wherever you are, and that's where your minute is. And that's what you have. You didn't seek that minute. Like I said, your parents might have wanted you to be born, or you might, whatever, but you're here. You know, and you didn't choose it or any of those things. But now, but it's up to you, as it says in the poem, but it's up to me to use it. You use the minute. You know, that's the part that's really powerful. You get to make all the choices in the world about your minute. Hopefully you make good choices. But even if you make bad choices, it's still your minute and your choices. I suggest everybody make good choices. Everybody suggests that they try to fill their minutes up with all the privileges that go with being an archangel. You know, helping people, that's a privilege. I think everybody would benefit from helping people and sharing that love that they have for themselves with somebody else, you know, just doing those things. I also think within your minute, I think people should seek out adventure too. You know, I don't think they should be as goofy and off the wall as I am, but you know, they can be as goofy as they are. You know, and right now I'm thinking on running in Death Valley for either a marathon run or a 50K run or maybe 50 miles. But I have to wait till July to make my thing, so it'll be like 135 degrees because I don't have any sense at all. So, but you know, I mean, but you can do your own type of adventurous thing, and the rewards that you get from your own type of adventurous thing on your minute, you know, those are memories you have in your minute. So you have to fill your minute up with all kinds of different things that's going to make you feel good about your minute that you had down here. You can learn things. You can go to school. For you people that's elder citizens or anybody, no matter what, you can learn in school. It's hard to, well, I'm going to take that back. It's hard to learn in school when you first start because you feel as though your energy's just all over the place because you're a kid and you don't want to sit down and they're teaching you all these things that are rigid. They don't have to play in it. They're teaching you, a lot of people want to teach you crap so that they can measure your level of achievement by giving you a test at the end. They don't teach you fun. They used to teach you fun. You know, you used to have science class where the teacher be right on the back of you because he knows you're going to blow up something. You know, they got all these crazy chemicals. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of fun. But they don't teach like that any longer. They teach more to the A, B, C, D. Class A, B, C, D. But once you get over that, kids, all right, y'all can leave the room now. Once you get over that and become an adult, you can actually structure the things that you want to learn, you know, so that becomes much more fun. You get into that passion, you know. You're not into professional proficiency any longer. You're into the passion now. So if you want to learn mathematics, learn mathematics. If you want to be a scientist and blow up something, go ahead. You know? You can go into weaponology and just blow things up all day long, you know. It's a whole lot of fun, I guess. But that's what it does. So you need to learn stuff too in your minute. Anything, doesn't matter what it is. You become a painter. You know, say you always wanted to paint. Go get some paint. You know, if you're really just starting out and always wanted to paint and everything, I wouldn't suggest go buying a fancy easel and a fancy canvas and beautiful oils and stuff. Go buy some watercolors. Slap it all over the place like that. Have a good time with the paint. You know, whatever it is. And if you want to learn music, if you want to learn sports, but I do think that in your minute, I think it's in everybody's advantage if they really want to stretch their minute forward is to stay physically fit and physically active. along with staying mentally fit and mentally active, and with coupling all that with being spiritually fit and spiritually active. Those three together is going to make your minute a much more exciting minute than anything else. So that's about it for up to this point. About you got to choose what to use it in, and if you don't choose anything, you lose that minute. That's the sad part. You lose that minute. You lose that ability to be able to, well, you can always regain some of it, but it won't be to the same level. You know, the passion might be gone. You get into your mid-30s, 40s, and so the passion might not be there. You become more involved with wanting to be professionally proficient. You know? But the passion starts to slip away. You know, because you got other responsibilities that you think you have to take care of, so you put yourself on the back shelf, and by putting yourself on the back shelf, then your passion's with you. You know, but the professional proficiency, hey, that's good too. You can become real professionally proficient. More than likely, you'll grow and become in your 60s and be really, what am I going to do with my professional proficiency now? You know, I'm retired. I can't be this person that I once was. I don't know how to be anybody else, you know? So now you start to slip into depressions, get old, everything starts to fall apart because your passion never was the thing that made your life move. So I must suffer if I lose it. See? Right there in that minute, that right there. If you don't use it, you lose it. And by suffering, if you lose it, that's just what's going to happen. And that's going to be too bad. Because I don't want to see anybody lose their minute, because those minutes are way too powerful and way too precious to have. And if everybody's seeking out their passion, can you imagine the things that will be accomplished in this world? Just because somebody really passionate about something, not professionally proficient, like you got somebody, well, we need to have clean water. Well, this is how you get to clean water. Okay, so if you're really passionate and then your professional proficiency in knowing how to get that clean water is going to be way higher than somebody who is just professionally proficient in adding a few chlorines to something to get clean water. We saw that actually when it happened in the name ran right on my head.
Flint.
In Flint, Michigan. The professional proficiency, yeah, there was more water flowing and everything, but it was flowing through lead pipes that were falling apart. So, you know, the passion would have said, wait a minute, aren't those pipes lead? You know, they didn't see it. They didn't see it. All they seen was the numbers from the professional proficiency. And what happened? Tried to kill everybody in the time. It was really bad. But not to make fun of it, but that's what happens when you just do something that's involved with professional proficiency and you leave your passion out of it. So like I said, if everybody's working on passion, everybody's working like that, they're having a good time, you're interacting with people, you're talking about water, you know. You walk around with your shirt H2O, you know, you just, I mean, you're having a good time, sprinkling it all over people, it's just good, you know. So, but that would be the passion, because you want everybody to experience that. And if everybody's different passions all start together and stuff, it'd be a great place to hang out anyway, because there'd be a lot of things getting done. But we don't do that. So that's what coming to the next part. I gotta give an account if I abuse it. And that's where the part comes in that's really devastating and stuff. If you abuse your minute, you can certainly abuse your time in your one little minute. You can decide to become the biggest gangster in the world. You can say, I want to be a gangster. I want to be a mobster. I want to just hang out at night and party all the time. I want to be James Bond and drink and never get drunk and carry a little gun that can shoot like a cannon and kill people. And I want to do all these things like that. And you certainly can try. That's your choice to do that. But you have to give account of your abuse if you abuse it. You're abusing your minute. It's all about you, all about a negative way, all about some fantastical passion that you have. You're living in a fantasy world. Your minute doesn't really exist. So it'd be hard to give an account of something that doesn't exist, and you cut your minute short. Yeah? It's still going to be your minute. You get arrested, you still going to have your minute, but you'll be in solitary. Get a little room to live in. You know, nice little metal toilet. Make sure you can only go to the bathroom in the summertime, because in the winter it's too cold. I mean, if that's the life that you want, then you certainly can choose to have that life. And you can have 1 or 2 seconds of thinking that you're a real gangster, and then you can have the rest of your life and all those minutes, yeah, in that minute to see just how lonely and pathetic you really are. But because you give account, you gotta give account of what you did, and that is the worst thing I could think of anybody to do, to abuse that minute. And you can abuse it in many other ways. You can just go out there and try. Well, I'm going to experiment with drugs. You already know you ain't going to win. You're going to do it anyways. So that's not a very good thing to do when it comes to choosing how to use your minute. You know, so don't lose your minute. Don't abuse it. And remember, you stand accountable for your minute. Now, there's just, remember, it's just a tiny little minute. Little, short, 1 minute. Most people can hold their breath for 1 minute if they're talking in this kind of world just like this. It is that short. It's just a real short amount of time. But as the last sentence says, eternity is in it. And eternity is in it because your minute has a direct effect on everything that comes after you and everything that's happening within your minute. Your kids are affected by your minute. Like I said, if you notice that they just play video games and you never notice that they drew the solar system out there playing just because they got to find a piece of chalk and they was able to draw the solar system, you never see their passion, you know. So the eternity for your child might have been stifled. You don't know. They might just have enough passion in the solar system, like in the solar system, to go ahead. They might like dinosaurs, become a paleontologist. You never know. But it's these things that your little minute is going to have direct correlation in affecting everything around you. In your minute, just by doing something nice for somebody. Their minute might have been at that second in their minute, they might have been in such a low state that they didn't know what they were going to do with the rest of their life, you know. It's like, I don't know what to do. And your interaction in your minute, it's only a second. You took a whole second off, maybe even less than a second, maybe even 1/10 of a second just to give somebody a smile and a little pat on the head or on the back or something like that, or a hug, you know, out of your minute. Wow, you know. And don't go home and pat yourself all over the back and waste a whole lot of minutes in your grandiose type of thing. That's how bad and good I am. And that brings me to what I'm going to read to you folks. That's right, because we like reading Aesop's fables. And that's why you had to do these things. Let me see. I'm going to pick out Aesop's fable here. I hear babies cry. They're outside crying. But that's okay. They can come in. That's a little baby too. That's a little short baby. Yeah. I'm going to read a story to you here. The Eagle and the Cocks. Those are roosters, folks. Those are roosters. I know some of you people, because it's, you know, this is an old book written many years ago. Aesop fable and stuff. So those are roosters. Alright? And that's funny because my friend Tom, he gives a thing on the 60s, and he was talking about that he has a number of 45s that he was talking to this group of kids and stuff, and one kid thought he had a bunch of guns. You know, he didn't, because they didn't know 45s was a record. They know what a record. What's a record? You know. So cocks or roosters. So the eagle and the cocks. Here we go. There were two cocks in the same farmyard, and they fought to decide who should be master. When the fight was over, the beaten one went and hid himself in the dark corner, while the victor flew up on the roof of the stable and crowed lustfully, you know. But an eagle spied him from high up in the sky and swooped down and carried him off. Forthwith, the other cock came out of his corner and ruled the roost without a rebel. Pride comes before a fall. See, that's what I wanted to bring about like that. That's why if you take a little tenth of your little minute and do something for somebody, don't go back in your house and beat yourself on the chest and say how wonderful I am and all these things like that. One, you're wasting time. Two, pride definitely comes before the fall, as we seen with this rooster right here. You know, all he had to do, he could have strutted around a little bit on the lower level and he wouldn't be lunch for the eagle. And the other guy, he was feeling all bad about his minute, but he was based his minute on somebody else's proficiency level and his proficiency level, and not on his pride, not on his passion. His passion was to rule the roost, you know, but he thought the proficiency level, because, you know, that comes, fighting is a proficiency type of thing, so he went into that with a proficiency type of ordeal, and he lost, but he won because pride goes before the fall. The other guy, even though he was much more proficient in what he wanted to do, his pride just was too much for him, and he nothing but a biscuit. or a chicken McNugget. I don't know. I don't know what that rooster was. That rooster became, but he certainly did rule the roost. So I want you guys to remember that. I want you to remember that when you're out there dealing with your minute. Your minute. It's your minute. That's the part I want to say. And it's only just like he said, it's only 60 seconds. So you have to use those 60 seconds all the time. It's a short little period. You got to fill your life up with every second with something challenging. You want to challenge that life. You just don't want to walk around through life and in a silly little stupor and not know anything. Yeah. So let's talk a little quick thing on this here. Now, God's minute, it's about what you do for others. In all actuality, that's the most powerful thing that you're going to get out of your minute, is what you're going to be able to do for others. Yeah, but it's also about what you do for yourself. Because the more you do for yourself and the more you do for others, the bigger person you become. And the bigger person you become, the more your minutes are filled up with all kinds of good memories and joys, and you're able to enjoy them because you're physically fit and you have a nice spiritual connection. So your morals are straight, your ethics are fine, you're good. So and how you world, that's a powerful thing too. You can experience the world in many different ways. Now, people experience the world now on Facebook.com/ArchAngel A Return to Chivalry. You can experience the world like that. That's fine. But you can experience the world by being out in the world, challenging yourself with adventures. Like I said, you don't have to be as stupid as I am, you know. I wanted to see what it's like to be at altitude, so I go up Pikes Peak. It's 14,000 feet. I found out it was hard to eat French fries because I couldn't think on how to eat French fries. So, but you can experience all the things of life. You know, they got a new, I want to try this too. They got a new mask you wear. It's like a rebreather, but I don't know how much it costs. I don't think it's all that expensive. So you could actually go kind of diving in the water without that little snorkel. You could stay underwater for a certain amount of times with that rebreather and experience all that underwater life. How cool is that? Or you can sit back and you can look on Facebook and watch somebody else do it. I mean, it's your choice. It's your minute. So how you experience the world. And did you take a moment and learn about love, experience love? You know? Or do you just whine and cry? That's another part of the world. You can experience love. You got, I don't know how many different websites and things to go where you get dating service or whatever that thing is called, you know, matching and all this stuff like that. And most of that is because you're experiencing the world on Facebook. You're not going out. You know, you might get a rebreather and be swimming underneath the water, and you're down there long, and oh, there's someone else swimming underneath the water, and then you made a connection, and you fall in love, and you have little guppies. No, you probably have children, but who knows? You might have guppies. I have no idea. Yeah, and then you gotta test them. Test the middle? You know, you have to take a risk. You don't have to, but in experience the thing, taking a risk is powerful. You know, you have to take a risk sometime, whether it's a risk in a business venture, whether it's just a risk to for some guys to ask a girl for a date, or whether it's a risk for some girls to accept a date. You have to take a risk. You have to test the metal. You don't have to go out there and stand in front of a bunch of bullies and throw your hands up and think you're going to beat them all. Because you may not win, more likely you won't, but you can test the metal in that regard, or run into burning buildings and stuff. You don't have to test it like that. But there's risk to take in very other ways that's just as fulfilling in life. And, you know, climbing mountains, walking in the woods, anything like that. And you got to live for the dream. That's the passion. You live for your dream. If you dream about being an astronaut, be that astronaut. You know? Don't come professionally proficient at being an astronaut. You won't make it. Be that astronaut all the time. You know what it takes to be the astronaut. Professional proficient person, he may not be physically fit enough to be the astronaut because he doesn't want to put that much work into being that. He only wants to talk. He knows all the good words and stuff, but be the astronaut. You know, live the dream. If you want to dream, live it. And then do things you never thought you could do. That's a powerful thing. You know? And make sure you got a great wife like mine who's going to make sure that you... She put a little bit of range on some of the things I want to do. But, you know, I really would like to try that free running. You ever see them like jumping from building to building and over? That looks so cool. But I know I would break so many bones in my body, but she won't let me do. So make sure you do things you never thought you could do, but make sure you get somebody to put some reins on you so you don't be too stupid, you know? Yeah. And always engage people as people. When you see somebody, remember that's somebody who has a minute just like you. You know, and they're living their minute and you're living your minute, and you're two people living a minute. It ain't somebody that's insignificant. Oh, well, my minute's better than your minute because I'm living my minute better than you. No, everybody's minute is everybody's minute, and everybody's a person. They're not others. They're not insignificant. They're not any of that thing. They're people. And you must leave your comfort zone. Yeah, that wastes time in your minute. Just, this feels so comfortable. Oh, I think I'll just sit right here and not move for the next 20 years, you know. Wasting a whole lot of time in your minute just sitting in that recliner. You know, you got to get out that recliner. So physically, you got to get out. Mentally, you got to get out. You know, you got to pick up a book, read a book. Even if you don't read the whole book all the way through, read some of it. You know, read magazines, learn something. It doesn't matter what you learn, folks, because it's your minute. If you want to learn about the joy of dirt, learn about the joy of dirt, you know, because it's your minute. You won't become professionally proficient, or maybe you might, you know, but you will fulfill a passion because you're learning what you want to learn. And spiritually, connect with God as you want to connect with God, you know, not as anybody else wants you to connect with God. Yeah, that's too much work for God. Well, I don't know. I don't think I'll probably gonna rain when I leave here, folks. Gonna be lots of lightning and stuff. I'm sure you're gonna be throwing some at me, but that's all right. And above all, you have to remember when you get to see God, you know, no matter what you call him or whatever you want to do, he's going to ask you, because he gave you that minute, and he's going to ask you, hey, what you do with that minute I gave you, you know? And you want to make sure that you can just smile at God and tell him, God, this is what I did with that minute that you gave me. And I really want to thank you for giving me that minute. And that brings us right into the last minute of the show. We're right here in the last minute, and hopefully I was having a lot of fun with the people, and everybody had a good time listening to this stuff. And it's good stuff, because I think it's good stuff. I hope that you think it's good stuff. And remember that you can go on Facebook.com, ArchAngel A, Return to Chivalry, or 7averadio.com. And all you people who really want to experience something that's really good for you, go down to the YMCA and look up, you know, ask for Yenny Palanco. And, you know, she can help you on your journey to fitness and in other areas of life too. She's a very outstanding, charming young person. And we will have more outstanding people that we'll be interviewing in the future. So soon you'll have a bunch of people to pick from, bunch of little archangels out there. All right, I got to go. I'm out of here. And thanks for tuning in. All right. Bye. Pick it up?
Yeah, all set. Hey, what's poppin'? It's your boy Truth It, and I'm inviting you 5 p.m. Mondays through Fridays to tune into the 5 o'clock shadow. On the 5 o'clock shadow, we talk about current events, and no subject is off the table. I ain't scared. We also want you to be a part of the show. We encourage you to call in and give your opinion on whatever it is that's on your mind. Just know that weekdays at 5 o'clock, it's time to buckle up because you're going for a wild ride. Catch Rich, Natalie, and your boy Truth It on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock shadow, only on 7averadio.com.
VOV 91.3. Voices of Voiceless, we in the house. I'm Nate Peter Ghost, Barack King X, Kuta Kente, 1 foot off.
Same Mike, Michael J. Thriller, Mike Talk a Lot, Ego Spiritual, Beautiful Mind, Jesus Crack, Mike Camera Action in the building.
What's going on? VOV, Voice of the Voiceless. It's your man Keith Laporte, a.k.a. Sir Lord Keys the Thought, a.k.a. Keys to Life, the one-man team.
And I'm Super Joe, and I'm here to keep it real for you.
Tune in to Voice of the Voiceless every Tuesday, 12 to 1.
All right.
That's it?
That's it.
I didn't say anything about Archangel.